Hello. My name is Maura, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest, but she's not here in person, but that's my mom. Today I'm gonna have her pick out a few books for me to read in the upcoming week because I'm finally finished with school for the semester and I have all the time in the world to read until January. So I'm having her pick out some books. I'm gonna FaceTime her, tell her a little bit about the books, let her look at the covers, let her pick what she thinks my ratings are gonna be for these books. I've watched a few of these videos and I always think they're really funny and cute, and I just think this is gonna be a fun time. And I also feel like if other people pick the books that I read, I care a little bit more about reading them because they're asking me about the books. Whereas if I was like, I'll just read this, sometimes like my heart's not really in it and I'm like not really wanting to read that book, so I feel like I'm forcing myself. So if somebody else picks, it just feels more fun. So I'm gonna have my mom pick. Here we go. I'm gonna FaceTime my mom and see what books I'm gonna be reading in this week. I'm a little nervous, but it's okay. Do you know what a standalone book is?
Does that mean it's not a series?
Yes! Okay, but do you know what an interconnected series is? Like interconnected standalone series?
Does that mean it's like series, like different series that kind of flow together?
Yeah, sort of. See how they're like all the same?
Right.
That's like, I have to read like one book after the other. These are interconnected, sorry. They're interconnected standalone series. It's different characters, but it's like the same series, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna show you books, and then when you see a cover that you like, then let me know and I'll like show you the back and you can read it, okay? So I haven't read this one, When in Rome. I haven't read these, but this is the first book in the series.
Things We Never Got Over, okay.
Haven't read these three, but this is the next one that I would have to read.
Alright, well, Things We Never Got Over.
Okay, I knew you'd do that one.
Twisted Lies.
Okay.
When in Rome.
I knew you were gonna pick When in Rome. Okay, so let me explain what the book's about, okay?
Do I need to know what the book's about?
Well, just in case you're like, eh. So When in Rome, this is about this pop star who her car breaks down in Kentucky. She ends up outside of this guy's house and he lets her stay with him.
Okay, yeah, keep her.
Keep her. She wants to keep her. This is this one. I actually don't know what this is about. It says, goes to a rough edged town where disputes are settled the old-fashioned way with fistfights and beer.
Awesome.
Evil twin hasn't changed at all. Bad boy barber.
There's an evil twin?
Okay, she's clearly intrigued. And then I still have books over here.
No, they jumped right out at me.
Okay, and then Twisted Lies. This series is kind of crazy, I have to tell you that. God, I was gonna say pick small books because I don't have all the time in the world. You picked like the biggest ones.
Sorry.
It's okay. This says, charming, deadly, and smart enough to hide it. Christian Harper is a monster dressed in the perfectly tailored suits of a gentleman.
Absolutely.
Okay. You wanna say hi to the video so they know who my mother is?
Hi.
This is my mom. Gorgie queen.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, so do you want to hear about my problems? I need you to tell me what you think I'm gonna rate these out of 5. This is about the singer. 3, you said? Okay. This is about the rough-edged town.
5.
Oh, okay. And this is about Christian Harper, Monster Man.
5.
Okay. I'm gonna start with When in Rome because this is the shortest and I feel like I could finish this literally tonight. This is like less than 300 pages. I was gonna tell her to pick short books because I don't have a lot of time to do this. And before I could even show her all of my books, she was like, this one, this one, this one. I can't lie, when she said Things We Never Got Over, I was like, okay, cool, I've been wanting to read this for years and I've never read it. She picks the longest book. So I'm gonna start with When in Rome and then I'll be back with updates. I read Practice Makes Perfect. I love all of Sarah Adams' books that I've read so far, so I have a feeling I'll like it. I feel like 3 stars is pretty, like, that I feel like I can get behind. I liked Practice Makes Perfect. I think I gave that a 4. So I feel like 3, 4-ish is like good range. And then we'll talk about the other books when I get closer to those, but that's what I'm gonna be reading first. Sun has set, so that's why the lighting's now coming from my laptop. I'm about 50 pages into this book, which is like almost halfway at this point because this book is so short. I'm not the biggest small town romance fan. I feel like in romance books, it's kind of cheesy and like not my favorite because we're literally like page 30. Noah is the main male character. Somehow like everybody knows that Amelia like slept at his house, and they're like, I don't know how everybody gets this information so fast, but they're all like, so tell us about the girl that's with you. Who's the woman that was sleeping in your house? And he's like, she literally just like her car broke down in front of my house, and it was like really hot out that night, and I didn't want her to die in the car, so I just let her sleep in the guest room. And they're all like, no, there's clearly more to it. And he's like, there's literally not. Like, everybody's just like pressing for information all the time, because in small towns, like, there's nothing else to talk about. I come from a small town and I ran away as soon as possible. I don't know, I don't love the dynamic, because it's like everybody knows everybody knows everything about everybody, and it kind of reminds me of Archer's Voice, where like I really liked that book, but everybody's just talking about like everybody's issues, and I just don't like that. Noah had like an ex-girlfriend he was like really serious with, and literally they only know that Amelia slept at his house, and they're all like, you should date Amelia. And he's like, I don't even know this girl. No, I let her sleep in my house because she was broken down outside having a mental breakdown, so like I let her in just to be nice. They're all like, you should date her. He's like, I don't want to date, like I don't want to right now. And they're like, why? Because of everything that happened with your ex? And he's like, why are you talking about this? It has to be done really, really well, and I understand this is like unfortunately the reality of small towns, but maybe it's because I come from like a smallish town, not like super small, but one of those towns where you go to Target and like you're guaranteed to see like at least 10 people, you know, that kind of vibe. And it's not really my cup of tea. That's why I moved. So like reading it, I know I like the characters because they do appear in Practice Makes Perfect, and I said this already, but I did really like that book, so I know I like the characters. Don't know if I'm gonna like them as much as Will and Annie, because Noah's like a really sweet guy, and like, you know, he's a baker, like he's like a nice guy, everybody loves him. And then Will is like not a bad guy, but like he's more closed off and like rugged, I guess, and that's like my kind of guy. So I mean, I do like it. I love Sarah Adams books, so I am enjoying this, and the writing's really easy. It's easy to get through. I just don't know if I love the setting is what I'm saying, but I'm gonna keep going. Obviously I'm only like 50 pages in, but I'm definitely gonna finish this tonight. It's like 5:40 and I have like 200 pages, so I'll definitely finish this tonight. So ignore the clothes over here. I'm currently packing to go back to Maryland. I wanted to say that I did finish When in Rome. I was really, really excited for this book. I'd read Practice Makes Perfect and I wanted to read this very badly. I want to say though, I'm very glad that I read Practice Makes Perfect first, because I did not like this book really that much. I feel like if I read this first, I would have never read Practice Makes Perfect, but I loved Practice Makes Perfect. I think I gave that like a 4 or 4.5. It was really good, and I almost gave it a 5-star, and I gave this 3. I just don't like small town romances. I've talked about this before, where I just don't like it because everybody knows everybody gossips, and it's just a pain. I feel like, I don't know, it was just constant like back and forth of just, oh my god, I like you, should I like you, am I allowed to like you, should I even bother? Like, it's just, you guys are like in your 30s. I think he's like 40. It's forced proximity, so if you like that, you'd like it. It's not that I disliked it, because I do like these characters when they appear in Practice Makes Perfect. I just like didn't really care too much about their story, because them as individuals, I just like was kind of bored. I do love Sarah Adams' writing. I was entertained. Obviously, I kept reading it. 3 stars isn't bad. I just think the tropes weren't for me, and I only got this book because it was the start of a series, of an interconnected series, I should say, that I liked the second book of, so I wanted to read the first book. Doesn't mean it was bad. I just preferred the second book. I started reading Things We Never Got Over. Let me tell you, this is my first Lucy Score book, and I've been wanting to read her books for a long time. I have this whole series. This was not what I was expecting. I'm like 100 pages in, I think, and it is, for those of you who haven't read it, because I feel like I'm the only person in the world that hasn't, it's about Naomi, who is on the run from her ex-fiance and ends up going to this town where, again, small town. So I like this better though. I like this small town vibe better. Knox meets her, and she has an evil twin sister who like ruins everything she touches basically, and she has a daughter that Naomi didn't know about, and now Naomi has to take care of her niece that she had no clue existed. It's really interesting to see the banter and the dynamic between Naomi and the niece and Knox. It's still really early in the book, as you can tell. This is like 600 pages and it's a romance, so I'm sure it's gonna be slow burn. If it's not, then I hope I don't get bored halfway through, because I'm not like the biggest super slow burn fan, but if a book's this long, there needs to be some. Otherwise, like if they got together like right here and I have this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. painfully obvious. I'm currently at the airport. I finished reading Things We Never Got Over, and I have no idea what I'm rating it. I'm between like a 3.5 and a 4, but I need to sit on it and think about it. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna start Twisted Lies. It's the last book for the video that is going up today. But my flight, I still have 2 hours until my flight boards. And then my flight's like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. That's like 4 hours-ish. This is like a 600-page book. I feel like I could knock this out on the flight. Between now and when I land, I can knock this out for sure. I read the first book in the series twice. Loved it the first time, didn't love it the second time. This, oh! Wait. Oh my god, this is the 4th book, not the 2nd book. Okay, well, I can still read it, because they're not, like, connected. But I think my mom picked Twisted Lies and not Twisted Games, so whatever. They're not connected, so it's literally fine, but this is the 4th book. Like, I read the first book, and, like, it was okay. I felt kind of weird about it, but... This is where I am. I have this much left. Things We Never Got Over was really slow and like I liked it. I just feel like it was so long, and the ending I was like really, I don't know, the whole evil twin thing kind of threw me off and like knocked it down a little bit, but it was good. I don't know how to explain it. Like the whole small town scene, I liked it better in this one than in When in Rome. Liked Nash and Lucian's appearances. I liked the characters and I felt like there were a lot of characters but I could like follow them easily, which is usually not the case. I did really like that, but the ending just felt like very bizarre. So I knocked it down a little bit for that, but I did enjoy it. I did like it. Twisted Lies, I started at like 2 a.m. at the airport, and then I read about 230 pages and then took a nap when I got home. I'm gonna finish this tonight. So far, I'm liking this more than Twisted Love. It's about Christian, who basically owns like this security company type thing, and he is like obsessed with this girl named Stella, and Stella has this fashion blog and is trying to get this job. She thinks that if she fake dates Christian, then she's gonna gain more followers and then get her the job she wants. Like Christian will say really sweet and like nice stuff, and then I'm like, I feel like he's like low-key stalking her, and I haven't found that out yet. That could be completely off, but she is being stalked by somebody and Christian's like being super protective of her. So I am liking this so far, but knowing how Twisted Love was written, I'm a little nervous because of just like the stuff that was revealed about Alex. Supposed to read the 2nd one, this is the 4th one, but you can read them out of order. All of the boys from those books are in here, but I don't really know their characters too well yet, so I can't really like look at it and be like, oh, this is how the characters act, you know? Currently 1 a.m. You can't see, but it's 1 a.m. Finished Twisted Lies, and I really like this a lot. Like, I think this is a 5-star, and I've rated books 5 stars, and I'm always like, oh, like the book has to have this or whatever. This was just entertaining. Like I was very entertained, and I read this in a day. I was really entertained, and that's why this is a 5-star. You can argue me on it. Was everything perfect? No. But was I entertained and did I like the characters? Yes. 5-star. I started this video reading When in Rome. My mom predicted that I would give that 3 stars, and I did. So that was a 3-star book. I still enjoyed it, would still recommend it. Not my favorite by Sarah Adams, but I still liked it. Then I read Things We Never Got Over. My mom thought I was gonna give that 5 stars, and I gave it 4, so pretty close. I liked this book as well. Wasn't my favorite book ever. I had fun reading it. It was fun. It was really slow, but I enjoyed it. Then finally, Twisted Lies. My mom thought I was gonna give that 5 stars, and I did not think that was gonna be 5 stars. and it was. Last night I was like, maybe I'm just delirious because I've been up for so long. It was late when I was finishing it, and I was like, there's no way this is 5 stars. Like, there's just no way. And then I woke up and like the first thing I thought of was Christian Harper, and I was like, that's how I know that this was a 5 star. It was so much fun. I loved the tropes. I loved everything he said. Just felt like I was obsessed with him, and I liked Stella. So I was like, I love both the characters. I'm thinking about them nonstop. It was just fun. Like, I just enjoyed reading this, and I wanted to keep reading it. So clearly what I've learned today is that I need my mom to pick out more books for me, because clearly she knows what she's talking about when it comes to books, and she knows what I'm gonna like, which is always nice. Thank you guys very much for watching. These books were great, and I will see you guys when I see you.